AITA, Am I the Suburban a Hole? Parking Edition. Him, late 30s, early 40s white guy with a family living in an urban row house who has 2 cars, a gated driveway, and gets very hissy about it. Us, late 20s, early 30s white couple sharing a single car, each renting an apartment who just needed to drop off some goddamn groceries. Story time. A few months ago, I moved into an old Victorian row house on a narrow, one-way cobblestone street in a small northeastern city. Cars are generally allowed to park on both sides of the streets, except for where there's a fire hydrant or a curb cut. Ever since I moved in, I've had the joy of occasionally witnessing my next-door neighbor verbally attack anyone who double parks anywhere near his house, but most especially in front of his curb cut. He has harassed everyone from my downstairs neighbor to taxi drivers and Uber Eats people. All races, all genders. He doesn't discriminate. They're all equally at fault in his eyes. He mostly seems to want to scare people, so he'll threaten to call the cops. But he's never taken or threatened violence. We'd gotten lucky thus far, but I knew it was only a matter of time before we encountered him directly. So, tonight, my partner was dropping me off with my groceries. It's about 8 p.m. There are no parking spots on my street, common on weekdays. But since we're only going to be 5-10 minutes, we opted to double park. In order to get our car out of the center of the narrow road, we briefly pulled in front of his curb cut, which we deemed the most safe for us, least inconvenient for us and cars coming down the street, and quickest method. My partner throws on the flashers and steps out of the car when, from the shadows of the neighboring row house, a man's voice asks her, "Hey, nice spot, hun. You know, it's a driveway." Her, "Yay, we're just dropping off some groceries." Him, "Yay, and earlier they were just there for a minute to do taxes. Please, move." Me, stepping out of the car and not in a fabulous mood. "Why don't you just call the cops? How about?" My partner looks at me, perhaps a bit surprised and scared by the aggression. I come around the car and say, "Let's keep unloading." He does this to everyone. Meanwhile, he calls, or pretends to call the cops. We unload the groceries. After he finished his call, probably less than 30 sec, he starts up again. Him, "Double parking is illegal, and that's what you're doing. It's a privilege to park in the city, and you're taking advantage of it." Me, "Privilege? Hen, that's a word you chose." Him, "If you want suburban amenities, why don't you go live in the suburbs?" You prick. I didn't see the point in responding to that, and I don't remember if he said anything further, except we both remember his daughter yelling down. I thought she said, "What's going on, Daddy?" But my partner thinks it was actually, "Stop yelling at them, Daddy." Either way, his response was to tell her to go to bed. Fellow city dwellers, am I the a-hole?